We welcome you to Blues Game Day Live. I'm Darren Robert Pang alongside.
And I'm Joseph Dominic Vitale, your good buddy.
That's a perfect way to start the night. We're in Montreal. We're outside the Habs locker room right here. There's 24 Stanley Cups over my left shoulder that are on display. It is a special place to be at. It's special for the players, Joey. And it's your first game as a broadcaster in one of the best broadcast positions in all of sports. You're going to love it.
I'm looking forward to seeing what it's all about. Curb was mentioning it to me earlier as we were watching the pregame skate, and I had plenty of games here. I had plenty of games in the box in this rink. You know?
So you were upstairs.
I was a healthy scratch for many a game.
Sorry,
in
pal.
This building. It's all right. The food was good.
Yeah, the dogs were good.
The dogs, the pretzels, and the candy. They had a bucket of Skittles back in the day. I'm not sure if they still have those, but I'll be on top of those if they are.
Well, this is always exciting for a lot of guys. I mean, there's guys from out west. There's guys from, even Ontario guys, generally speaking, grew up Maple Leaf fans, or they grew up Montreal Canadian fans like I did. Grew up an hour and a half away. But when you come here and you're a French Canadian, so Sammy Blais, last year when he came here, Joe, it was really exciting for him. I mean, he was so naive and, obviously didn't know what to expect. But those are special moments. And then David Perron has returned to the St. Louis Blues, and he's coming back. He had dinner with his parents last night. So that those two in particular are going to have a lot of jump here.
Oh, sure. They're going to be chomping at the bit. From the get-go tonight, I had a moment to talk to Sammy Blais' father in the stands right before I came down here. And, man, just the smile from ear to ear on this guy. The pride to watch his son take on the Habs in this building. Just so much incredible history here. And you ask players around the league, one of my favorite questions I ask them is, what's your favorite building? Where do you love going to? And I would say about 60% of everyone I ask said my favorite road game's always in Montreal.
For good reason. And the hot dogs are really, really good, by the way. They toast the buns, and they're not anyway. We'll probably fire back a half a dozen of those suckers tonight, right?
Let's stay on this topic,
on the dog.
actually.
Yeah.
This will be good.
Just mustard, ketchup. No, just mustard for me. I don't like ketchup on my dogs.
Yeah, a little relish would be good, though.
Okay, a little relish. Yeah. Perfect. Coffee here. Anyway, we'll get going here. A couple of things that we noticed, obviously Jaden Schwartz here practiced yesterday. Expectations are that he's going to rejoin the team. Maybe Jordan Kyrou jumps up on the top line as they did yesterday at practice, and Mike Yeo had said that he wants to give him a look there, and certainly he's shown a lot of composure. That would add a little different dynamic to the top six.
Oh, sure. I think the speed there with O'Reilly and Tarasenko could really open things up. You saw Kyrou, in the last game versus Anaheim, that chance he came, end to end, comes around the rink, and he found Schmaltz in the back door there. I mean, he has the capability to make some huge plays, and in mentioning Jaden Schwartz, I think we might see him tonight. It's still kind of up in the air a little bit, and two guys that are going to have to come through big for them tonight, because I watched a couple of periods of the Montreal game the other night. I know you watched the game, and just talk about a little bit about the Canadians and how they've kind of switched it up over the summer and what they look like this year.
This is a different hockey team, and even without Shea Weber, who's been announced as their captain, and he's a good one too. When he gets back into the lineup, that'll change things for them on the back end. But they're explosive. They're small. They're tenacious. They attack, and they're playing a game that you're not used to seeing from Claude Julien. Claude Julien has always been a very kind of a practical, old-school style of coach, but the game has changed, and I think he's done a wonderful job of adapting. And this year, the defensemen will get the puck on their stick, and if you get caught standing still, that puck's going to go behind you, off the boards, flipped up, whatever it's going to be, and they're going to be gone, and those little fellas are going to be chasing her down.
Yes, sir.
So if you're not watching and have a little shoulder check and have your head on a swivel, you're going to give up a lot of odd man breaks, because that's exactly what the Montreal Canadiens have done. And they're actually quite fun to watch, actually. They look like the old roaring Montreal Canadiens of the past.
They do, and I think that's something that, in the game I watched, and we watched it together, but, when there are turnovers in the neutral zone, or when they do break out, they break out with so much speed, and they go right on attack mode.
Five-man units.
Five-man unit, and they all just go, so many teams that they thrive on, they take pride in the transition game, or we're good in transition, but sometimes you'll get in transition, you'll steal the puck, there's a turnover, but then when you're on the attack, there's kind of that poise and patience over the blue line. But not these little fiery red guys. They just go, man. They got five guys, and they're up the ice, and they're running and gunning.
Okay, so that leads me to this next one. And obviously, the elephant in the room right now has been defending. I don't think anybody's concerned about offensively for the Blues. But against a quick team like this, the Blues have done a great job of getting ahead, for whatever reason, relinquishing leads and not stopping teams. And so it looked to me like players are starting to see it now. Even Alex Pietrangelo the other day, the captain, saying, hey, that's on me. You know, I've got to be better. Well, he's right. He's got to be better. The whole unit's got to be better. And as a team, they've got to get that confidence to shut teams down like they had in the past. That's been the staple of the St. Louis Blues.
Sure, it has been, and it's something that's been missing. And I think, you know, you look at individuals, and, you know, there's certain players that, yes, they do need to step up their game. But, you know, everyone's trying to do their best out there. Everyone's trying to make that play. And I think the thing that I've noticed from up top is there seems a little bit of hesitation in the D zone. I think that just comes down to this trust level. You know, we talk about it a lot, but there's a lot of newness in this team, you know, and like any relationship, you know, you and me or your wife or anyone, it takes time, right? It takes time to develop trust. You know,
that's right. I trust you.
I trust you too. Thank you.
I know you got my back, because when I dropped my iPad on the plane again, you apologized, even though it wasn't even your fault.
We dropped it 3 times, actually. I'm going to get you a new stand, by the way.
I dropped it 3 times.
He did.
But yeah, I agree with you on that. The newness is an important part. The trust factor is an important part. Like, there's not that many parts of the Blues game that are shaky.
Right.
Holding on to leads, making sure you're hard to play against when the game's on the line.
Yeah, and you can't cheat the process. You know, there's new faces here. There's guys that are having to step up in different roles. There's guys that are having to step down in different roles, and that all takes time to develop. And, you know, it's something that it's an opportunity for them here on this road trip. I love these road trips. You know, there's times in your career, in my career, that, you know, you're struggling, the team's not doing well, and you hit the road for 7 days, and that's a time for the group to come together off the ice, at dinners, coffee in the morning, in the locker room, on bus trips, flying from city to city, because that plays a huge role, I think, in just the composure of the group and being able to trust each other, and just, you know, gelling as a group and creating that kind of chemistry.
And Joe, we got Robbie Fabry's on the trip. We've got Carl Gunnarsson, Oscar Sundqvist, you know, Robert Bortuzzo. It looks like he's fine too, but everybody's here.
Yeah.
So that's also another great thing. Before we wrap things up, goaltending-wise, Jake Allen on fire against the Canadians. Great goals against average and save percentage. I think he's won his last 3, and so he particularly likes it here too, a Fredericton, New Brunswick boy. And looks like Carey Price will get the nod as well. So I love this goaltending matchup. Both guys can play the puck. It's a quick building, quick ice. I think you're going to see the goaltenders really, really active as well.
I think you're exactly right. And Carey Price is he's had his hiccups certainly in recent past, but just an all-star goaltender. And Jake Allen at the very top of his game. So, you know, maybe tonight's a night where we don't see a 5-4 or a 6-2 kind of.
Might be a 1-0 game.
It might be a 1-0 game, and something that has been kind of absent in this whole season or whole league. I mean, you know, scoring's up and a lot of youth and a lot of skill in the game, but maybe tonight's the night to shut the door. Averaging
over 6 goals per game in the National Hockey League. It has been a whole lot of fun. So we're going to wrap things up here. Don't forget the game tonight. We're in Eastern Standard Time here. So game starts tonight at, let me see, that's 7. That's 8 o'clock, right? 7 o'clock there. 6 o'clock there.
Carry the 4. You know, I went to CBC. I'm not the best in math. You know,
6 o'clock in St. Louis.
I'm going to get here at 5 just to be safe.
5:30. And we're looking forward to it here from Montreal, both on KMOX and on Fox Sports Midwest. So for Joe Vitale, what was your middle name again?
Dominic.
Oh, I love it. Dominic. For Joe Dominic Vitale, I'm Darren Robert Pang. Have a great day, everybody.